did you know it?
Like the other one, To Touch the Sun. I believe that's the name of the song,
About
right?
to touch the earth.
To touch the earth, sun,
That's
earth.
now. Wait a second. Now I'm beginning to see why you don't remember titles.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Into the Music, and I'm here with my buddy Chris. Chris, say hi.
Hi,
What do you got?
I've got a Doors song that I'm hoping you didn't hear it. It's hard finding a Doors song you haven't heard, but it's called L'America, and you are to go and listen to it and report back to me.
Everyone, I suck at song names. I just do. It's terrible. And so,
It is really.
and it's frustrating for that guy because I'm like, I don't know it. And then, I get into reaction. I'm like, I know it. But um, the Doors, I love the Doors. So I'm hoping this one just slipped
Said
underneath.
like a true New Yorker. It's
Slipped
not the
underneath. Yeah.
Doors, it's the Doors.
The Doors. Well,
No, you already have the accent, man. You don't have to. You don't
oh,
have
yeah.
to embellish.
Don't have to.
Just say it normally, and you'll say the Doors.
All right, the Doors. I don't know. So
right.
I'm gonna go and check
So-
out the Doors, and I'll come back and let you know if I know the song and how I like the song La America.
Okay, man.
This could be like the last Doors song that I reacted to, but right off the bat, it doesn't sound familiar to me. So um, there's a good chance that in about 1 minute I'm going to be coming back and saying something different. But right now, this is not sounding familiar. That speed up of the guitar. I think I know it. Yeah. I know it. I know it. But again, the good news is that I'm so terrible with song titles, especially with songs that I really have not listened to in a very long time. And that's the thing with this song. It's been a very long time. So even though it's not a first time reaction, there is the surprise, the spontaneity of like, not remembering completely the song. And they're the Doors. And from what I remember, it's a great song. So let's go. I'm going to actually start back. Everyone just sit back with me and let's. Like a snake sound. Jim Morrison, the Lizard King. Love that military style drumming. Love that.
I took a trip down to America. You trade some beats for a pint of gold. so down. You know the
I forgot what the transition was because that part I remember. This part I don't remember so much. So let's bring it back a little bit.
come on, people, don't you look so down. You know the rain man's coming to town. And change your weather, change your luck. And then he'll teach you how to find yourself.
Find yourself. That's right.
Friendly strangers came to town. All the people put them down. But the women love their ways. I come again some other day. Like the gentle rain. Like the gentle
All right, my last stop here. I know there's a great effect right now on his voice, but Morrison's voice was just so good, so unique. I think actually, if I remember the story correctly, he shocked everyone, like in his family and people, back in his hometown. Like Jim's going to be a singer in a rock and roll band. Jim became a singer in a rock and roll band.
rain that falls. I took a trip down to America. You trade some beats for a pint of gold. I took a trip down to America. You trade some beats for a pint of gold. America, America, America. America, America,
Wow, that was great. That was great.
And so, yes, I know the song. You know that I was going to tell
What a
you I know the
surprise.
song.
Oh,
Surprise!
oh man.
But it was like
Okay.
the other one.
How well did you know it?
Like the other one, To Touch the Sun. I believe that's the name of the song,
Not
right?
to touch the earth.
To Touch the Earth, Sun,
That's
Earth.
now. Wait a second. Now I'm beginning to see why you don't remember titles.
Because I'm just a loon ball.
No, because you hear. Never mind.
I'm mixing up my
You are a loon ball.
my celestial or whatever. Okay. Anyway,
No, because you take a title like "Not to Touch the Earth" and you call it "To Touch the Sun."
I make it my own thing.
You do.
I always do.
You got your own little world going on there, and I hope
That's
you're
what
very
the
happy in
teachers
it.
to write on report card. Greg's in his own world, He just anyway. So yes, like the first few, it was almost like that other song about the Earth.
You're not even going to try with the name of that, okay?
That geography,
Yeah, that Earth song.
that Earth about the big blue planet,
Yeah.
And because like the first notes were like really drawn out, boom, and I was like, all right, I don't think I know this, but I'm like, I'm hoping, and sure enough, as it went along, right, in that beginning, the guitar tone became a little bit more sort of controlled, subdued a bit, whatever the word is, description, but then and tighter, not spaced out so much, started being more notes. And dun, 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 I was like, oh boy, yep, I know it, but I'm not going to fool anyone or fake anyone out, so I kind of like, Mea culpa. I know it. Um, but again, almost like the other song, uh, I haven't heard it in a long time. Yeah, I haven't really listened to this album, "L.A. Woman," in a very long time.
Right.
And even when I did, it was one of the albums from the Doors where it's probably the least played albums. Not because it's not good stuff, just it's kind of more into the earlier stuff. So so in a way that did lend to some spontaneity and some because it's been a very long time,
Yeah.
and it's also a darn good song. It's
Wasn't
just
the intro fantastic?
Oh
When
yeah,
it
it's so
starts off
freaking
slow like that, and then that when the drumming comes in, it's like that
the
militaristic.
military. That's what I say.
Yeah, yeah,
You and I have talked about that. We both love that military style kind
yeah.
of
We
thing when
heard
it's
it
done
in
right.
"I Promise," the Radiohead song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like when the rest of the song is like composed, constructed in like
Yeah.
the right way, it could be so effective, and it was
If we
here.
joined the army at any point in our lives, we'd probably hate it. But
Yeah, probably yes. And then I don't know really about the lyrics so much, except that one. I took a trip down
well,
to
America.
America.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
and
this till I didn't notice till I looked it up for this. La America is just another nickname for Latin America, which is South America.
yeah,
So
yeah.
um,
It sounded
I
like
don't really
maybe
know what the words meant,
it sounded
but
maybe
it didn't matter to
Doors
me.
fans, please correct me if I'm wrong here, but it kind of I was trying to catch a little bit of like it sounded like maybe when the band made a stop there, did maybe perform there or something? They were there, and
Could be.
Jim's experience with certain things down there, and it was very trippy. And we know
Right.
that he did take went on some trips, not just to different countries or whatever, but also
Well, what I read about it was when the first line, which
but
is
like other trips,
I
mind
went
trips.
down. Right, I went
Yeah,
down to America to trade some beads for an ounce of gold.
yeah,
Um, what I read, I don't know if it's true or not, but what I was reading said that it was basically going to buy weed.
mm,
So that makes
yeah,
sense because they're not
yeah,
going to come right out with it back then. Nowadays, you just say what it is. Um, as far as getting past the censorship.
yeah.
But really, the the um, of course, the music is what got me. And then
Oh
they
yeah.
have that lighthearted part where friendly strangers came to town all the way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, transitions. So this song also had a few
Yes, yes.
whereas in the other song
The
um
Earth song.
I actually surprised you when I said that I didn't think it had, transitions like in the sense like how I see transitions. This
Right.
one in that sense it did. They were like real like to me sharp turns like oh okay and it just all worked.
Yeah.
Um so you got to give the producers a big hand here. I'm sure the Doors at this point right in their career they had everything down. They knew exactly what they wanted to do here, but just to piece it together and make
Mhm.
it just work.
And
um
this song,
yeah,
as we mentioned, it was from their last. It's their last album with Jim Morrison
yeah,
before he died. Okay, because they came out with at least one album, the remaining three members after that. But um, so this song though was recorded before. I don't know how long before, but a substantial amount of time before the other songs were recorded on for that
mm,
album.
yeah,
And I think that album, LA Woman, I think is a perfect album. I don't think there's really a bad song on it. But yeah, so this is and that album was the goal was to have like a blues album, a bluesy album. All
right,
right. Not all the
right.
songs are, but they definitely got it. This album has definitely has its own sound. And I would say La America, even though it was recorded before the other songs, it still fits in.
What I want to mention too before we end this is Robbie Krieger, because that guy doesn't get enough credit, and John Densmore too as the drummer, and Manzarek. I mean, just the whole band, but because it was Jim Morrison,
Mhm.
I would make maybe a similar case, for especially Mitch Mitchell, the drummer for Jimi Hendrix. I think he's an amazing drummer, and I bring him up because, Jimmy Starr was so bright and just, he basically blinded, everything that was, behind him, and you really could just see him. But there was amazing stuff that was going on behind him. And, with Jim Morrison, that band was just, they were great musicians, but clearly after his death, um, he was the guy. He was the heart. You rip the heart out, and that's kind of it. But
Yeah,
when,
those other musicians though, and I would
but
recommend this to anybody who goes into the Doors, is to really pay attention to the other
yes,
musicians too.
because when the heart was pumping, all the other parts of that
Yeah,
band were the vital signs were good, great, and they were just they the life coming out of Robbie Krieger's guitar and doesn't get enough credit as a guitarist. And actually a songwriter too, for the Doors. And yeah,
he
Light My
wrote
Fire and other stuff. Yeah,
yeah, Love Her Madly.
yeah, yeah.
Was him.
In fact, the funny story with the Light My Fire, you probably heard this when Jim took the song, and I guess maybe it wasn't completely finished or whatever, and then Jim put in the line about the funeral pyre, and Robbie's like, Jim, why does everything have to be so always depressing with you? Funeral pyre. But it's a line that worked.
Yeah,
So um but yeah, just the whole entire band, as
yeah,
that song was playing, it was just magnificent.
yeah.
It was brilliance.
It
And
really was. And they hold up. One thing about the
yeah,
Doors, at least in my perception, is that it doesn't get old. It doesn't age. You listen to that and you don't say, "Yeah, this sounds like it's from the '60s
yeah,
or early '70s." It's just, it is what it is.
not that song. Definitely not that song. No. You can make a case maybe with every band there was a certain song that was kind of felt like the times, but most of their work, I totally agree with you. Just you can just kind of time capsulate, put it in a like, bubble it, and it works in any generation, any era. Um, that's what makes the Doors great. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah.
So they hold
Well
up.
said. Well said. All right. So cool. This is a great recommendation. I think I need to do, you know what? What the hell? Maybe I shouldn't educate myself on song names, because then I wouldn't be able to sort of revisit, some really
Yeah,
great work.
here's what's gonna. I've come to up with a solution.
What?
Instead of giving you a list of like, hey, let's do these next 3 songs for you to react to,
Yeah, yeah,
it's gonna be a long list, and you just go through them, and if you heard one, you just
yeah.
go to the next and go to the next.
I thought I did that actually. I, I, I'm thinking you're putting these songs in late. I think you're adding to the list. I don't remember seeing this particular song on that original list you gave me.
Oh, I'm thinking of stuff as I go along. There's
Right.
so, but I
Because
think
that
I'll give
original
you a
list to
list.
me was really chunky, and I actually went through
Yes, there's
every
a couple
one,
of
and I
these.
clicked on every link, and I was like, "Oh, we're good." And yeah, we're running into problems now. So these surprises that you're giving me. No,
Mhm.
this is all good
Mhm.
now. You know what,
I'm
folks?
screwing with your head.
If anyone, I'm curious, if like that second reaction, or like, is it like we don't want to hear that, or I don't know. I'm just curious, if that really goes completely against the reaction, because we're not putting in first time reaction in the titles. We're just saying reaction because I'm
Yes,
reacting
you
to it.
can't be accused of false advertising.
No, and we are very honest. We're truly honest, and we're upfront, full disclosure right away. And but it's still reaction. All right, so cool, man. It was really good recommendation, and it still worked out. It was great. So,
All right, man.
all right, good. So have a good night, and everyone, thanks again for joining, and like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next time on Into the Music.
See y'all.